When scientists want to determine if a new study drug is safe and effective, they go through a long and careful research process. Study drugs that work well in computer simulations or in animals don't always work the same way in people. So doctors and scientists work together to design research studies to understand how the new drugs work in humans in the safest and most effective way possible. To include participants in a research study, doctors need to explain what to expect and ask for their permission. In a research study, this is called getting informed consent. Informed consent is important because it ensures that study participants are aware of several key things. First, participants will understand what the research study is and why it's being done. Second, participants will understand what their role is and what to expect. Third, they will know how to contact the study doctor if they have questions, concerns, or if they encounter problems. Finally, participants will understand the potential risks and benefits of taking part in the research study. Risks and benefits? What do you mean? Let's start with the benefits. Benefits are positive outcomes or favorable effects associated with participating in a study. A participant may benefit from access to a study drug that would not otherwise be available. And research can also benefit society by increasing our knowledge about how a study drug works. But there is never a guarantee that any study drug will benefit a participant in any research study. And there may be risks. A study participant could experience unpleasant side effects or have an adverse reaction, or just be disappointed if the study drug doesn't work. And since many study drugs are investigational, there may be unknown risks. So while there might be benefits, there are also potential risks. The informed consent process is important because it helps study participants understand the potential benefits and the risks so they can make an educated decision about if they want to volunteer for the research study or not. You are being asked to consider taking part in a research study because you have a chronic cough condition. The goal of this research study is to test if an investigational drug called GSK 27,98745 reduces the amount a person coughs. The research is being sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline, or GSK for short. This means that GSK is paying the clinic to carry out the research. About 48 participants in the UK are expected to take part in this study. If you agree to take part in this study and sign the consent form, you will enter a screening period that may last up to 1 month. During this time, the study doctor will talk to you about your health history, conduct a physical exam, and do some tests to confirm that you are eligible to continue in the study. Screening tests will include a lung function test and ECG and may include a chest X-ray if you haven't had one in the last year. If you are eligible to continue with the study, you will be randomly assigned into one of 2 groups. One group will receive the study drug during the first treatment session, and the other group will receive a placebo, which looks like the study drug but doesn't contain any active medicine. Both groups will then have a break from treatment for 2 to 3 weeks. In the next treatment session, the groups will be reversed, so that the group that took placebo will get the study drug, and the group with the study drug in the first session will take a placebo. During the study, neither you nor your doctor will know which treatment group you are in. This is called a blinded study and helps to ensure that there is no bias in the interpretation of the study data. The study will last up to 2.5 months from screening through follow-up. During this time, you will visit the clinic at least 10 times. Most visits will last 1 to 2 hours, but 4 of the visits at the start and end of each treatment session will last about 4 hours. At 4 times during the study, you will wear a special monitor to count your coughs over a 24-hour period. While wearing the monitor, you will need to stay awake for the first 10 hours, and you will not be able to shower while wearing the monitor. The monitor will record all sound, including your conversations, when you are wearing it. Recordings are confidential and used only to assess how frequently you cough before and after treatment. As a participant, you can help make this a successful trial by doing the following. Come for all scheduled appointments. Take your medicine as instructed and record the time you take it in your study diary. Report side effects of the study treatments or any unusual symptoms you experience. Check with your doctor before taking any new medications or supplements. Male participants will need to use an effective method of birth control to prevent pregnancy in female partners. Do not consume grapefruit or Seville orange products or drink alcohol during the time specified by your study doctor around the treatment session. Follow other guidance provided by your study doctor regarding procedures and lab tests. Your participation is voluntary. If you decide to stop taking the study medication, you need to contact your study doctor about how to do this safely. In order to be considered for this study, you will need to read the information that follows, have your questions answered by staff, and then sign the form as instructed. Read the consent document carefully, ask questions, and consider the study time commitments and the responsibilities you will have in participating in this research study. You will use this tablet to help with the consent process. Instead of reading a paper-informed consent document, the information will be displayed on this tablet as a series of interactive screens. After you touch the Begin button below, you'll be taken through a series of screens. Each screen will describe a different aspect of the study. Some screens may have more information than can fit on the screen. In this case, simply scroll down to show all of the information. You'll know that you've reached the bottom of the screen when you see the grey area with the slider bar. Slide the center button over to the right to indicate that you understand the information on that screen and move to the next section. Or slide it over to the left to indicate that you have a question about something in that section. After you've indicated where your question is, click the green Continue button to move to the next section. Just like a web page, some words or phrases on the screen will be highlighted. Touch these words with your finger to bring up an explanation of that word or phrase. Touch the grey X in the upper right corner of the pop-up window to close it and return to the main screen. You can use the table of contents to go back to a previous screen, but you cannot skip ahead without reading each section at least once. If there is no activity for several minutes, the system will log you out. If this happens, ask the staff person to log you back in and you can continue where you left off. Once you reach the summary screen, let the staff know that you've gone through the full consent form. If you indicated that you have questions about any of the sections, a medical staff person will discuss these with you until you fully understand. If you decide that you don't want to participate in the research study, that's okay. Just tell the staff person that you don't want to participate. After you've indicated that you understand all of the sections, you will be able to sign the consent form to participate in the research study. You should sign the document only if you understand everything and agree to volunteer for the research study. If you understand everything and agree to participate, then the site staff will log out of the system and give you a printed copy of the consent form for you to sign. The staff person will also sign to witness your signature and then provide you with a copy of the consent document for your records. Click the green Begin button at the bottom of this screen when you're ready to get started.